Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Let's Solve UPSC. I hope you're all doing good and you're studying hard for your exams because there are almost about 6 months left for the UPSC CSC 2025. In this video, we are going to discuss about how to effectively read geography for prelims as well as for mains. Now, if we look at the prelims weightage for geography, every year there are almost about 8 to 9 questions from geography. And on an average, in the past 10 years, there are about 9 questions from geography. And in 2023, there were 13 questions from geography. Now, what are the problems for this? Number one, too many sources to read. कुछ लोग बोलते हैं एनसीईआरटी पढ़ लो, कुछ लोग बोलते हैं किसी कोचिंग का मटेरियल पढ़ लो, कुछ लोग बोलते हैं कोई वीडियोस देख लो. So there are too many sources and you would not know how to select any one. Number two, mapping questions. Now, mapping questions are of two types. One, Indian mapping, and the second one, world mapping. Now, it is very difficult to remember about the maps. And number three, the problem of revision and recall, because in geography there are particular concepts which require a lot of revision, and also there are many important information which needs to be recalled at the time of the exams. Now, what are the solutions? There is just one solution, the Geography NCERTs of class 11th. There are two books. Number one, Fundamentals of Physical Geography, and number two, India Physical Environment. अगर आपने इन दो बुक्स को फ्रॉम कवर टू कवर बहुत अच्छे से पढ़ लिया, then you will be able to solve around 6 to 7 questions of geography in prelims very easily. Now, let me show you with proof. See, here, this is the 2024 prelims questions of geography. This question says, the atmosphere is heated more by incoming solar radiation than by terrestrial radiation. The second statement says, carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere are good absorbers of long wave radiation. Now, here is a snapshot of the NCERT book. Statement 1, 48 units absorbed by the atmosphere, of which 14 units are from insolation and 34 are from terrestrial radiation. Now, if you see this, clearly it mentions that from the incoming solar radiation 14 units आते हैं and from the terrestrial radiation 34 units आते हैं. So, this first statement is wrong. Now, the second statement. The long wave radiation is absorbed by the atmospheric gases, particularly by carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases. Statement 2 is correct. Next, second question. Statement 1. Thickness of the troposphere at the equator is much greater as compared to poles. Statement 2. At the equator, heat is transported to great heights by strong convectional currents. Now, look at this paragraph here from the Geography NCERT, Fundamentals of Physical Geography. The troposphere is the lowermost layer of the atmosphere. Its average height is 13 km and extends roughly to a height of 8 km near the poles and about 18 km at the equator. Thickness of the troposphere is greatest at the equator because heat is transported to great heights by strong convectional currents. Now, statement 1 is correct as well as statement 2 is also correct according to this paragraph. Now, question number 4. Which of the following are correct inferences from the isothermal maps in the month of January? The isotherms deviate to the north over the ocean and to the south over the continent. The presence of cold ocean currents, the Gulf Stream and North Atlantic Drift, make the North Atlantic Ocean colder and the isotherms bend towards the north. Now, look at this paragraph from the Fundamentals of Physical Geography. In January, the isotherms deviate to the north over the ocean and to the south over the continent. The statement is correct. Now, this can be seen on the North Atlantic Ocean, the presence of warm ocean currents, Gulf Stream and the North Atlantic Drift, making the Northern Atlantic Ocean warmer. So, this statement is wrong. Okay, now, next, sixth question. With reference to the Himalayan rivers joining the Ganga downstream of Prayagraj from west to east, which one of the following sequences is correct? If you look at this map from the Indian physical environment book, you can very clearly see the sequence Gomti, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi. B. Gomti, Ghagra, Gandak, Kosi. This is the correct option. Now, next, question number 12. With reference to water vapor, which of the following statements are correct? It is a gas, the amount of which decreases with altitude. Its percentage is maximum at the poles. Now, look at this paragraph from the Fundamentals of Physical Geography book. Water vapor is a variable gas in the atmosphere which decreases with altitude. The statement is correct. Water vapor also decreases from the equator towards the poles. The statement is wrong. And the answer is A, 1 only. Now, as we have seen these many questions, let's see one more. Consider the following description. The annual and daily range of temperatures is low. Precipitation occurs throughout the year. Precipitation varies between 50 centimeter to 250 centimeter. What is this type of climate? Now, from the Fundamentals of Physical Geography, if you read this paragraph of the marine west coast climate, the annual and daily range of temperature are small. This is correct. Precipitation occurs throughout the year. This is also correct. Precipitation varies greatly from 50 to 250 centimeter. This is also correct. So the answer is D. अब इतने सारे क्वेश्चंस देख के आपको समझ में आ गया होगा कि we can do geography easily from the two NCERTs of class 11. अभी for example in 2024 there are 7 questions which could have been done from this only 2 books of geography. Now, अब आगे चलते हैं. Let's see one more. With reference to Coriolis force, which of the following statements are correct? It increases with increase in wind velocity. It is maximum at the poles and is absent at the equator. Now look at this paragraph. The Coriolis force is directly proportional to the angle of latitude, maximum at the poles and is absent at the equator. The second statement is correct. Now, the higher the pressure gradient force, the more is the velocity of the wind and the larger is the deflection in the direction of the wind. This is also correct. So, now, if we come to mains में basically there are only 2 books which you need to read. One, the Fundamentals of Physical Geography, and 2, India, the Physical Environment. Yes, the 2 same books which we are going to read for prelims. The point is, उन दोनों books में आपको सारे static concepts आपको मिल जाएंगे. You don't have to read anything else from anywhere. Now, if you want to read a little bit more, और अगर आपको थोड़े बहुत और concepts जानने हैं for the mains, you can watch the Raj Tunnel ma'am videos which are on Mrunal sir's official YouTube channel. There are about 57 videos. They are very old, actually 7 or 8 years old. But the point is, she had explained the concepts very well. अगर आपको कोई concept समझ में नहीं आ रहा है from the NCERTs, you can refer to these videos as well as for extra information also. Now, if we look at the mains questions of 2024, अब होता क्या है कि geography is not an isolated subject in mains. It is linked with disaster management, it is linked with society, and sometimes it is linked with environment as well. जैसे, if you see this 5th question, why do large cities tend to attract more migrants than smaller towns? Discuss in the light of conditions in developing countries. अब यहाँ पे geography को society के साथ में link कर दिया गया है. Mostly, geography is of around 75 to 100 marks in GS1 paper. And the question number भी almost similar रहते हैं. It is either 4, 5, 6, 7 or 14, 15, 16, 17. And also 4, 5, 6 and 7. है ना? 4, 5, 6, 7 जो है वो 10 markers होते हैं and 14, 15, 16, 17 are the 15 marker questions. Now, around 75 to 100 marks of geography आपको हर साल GS1 में देखने के लिए मिलेगा. Now, अब देखो what to do after watching these videos as well as reading the NCERTs. You have to practice the previous 10 years questions. आपको हर एक ज्योग्राफी का प्रीवियस ईयर क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम द पास्ट 10 ईयर्स आपको प्रैक्टिस करना होगा, आपको खुद अपने हाथों से उनको लिखना होगा टू आइडेंटिफाई द इंपॉर्टेंट थीम्स एंड ऑल्सो टू नो अ फ्रेमवर्क। अब अगर आपको फ्रेमवर्क बनाने में दिक्कत होती है, देन यू कैन रेफर टू द टॉपर कॉपीज in which you can easily find some or the other framework which they use। आप वहां से उनका फ्रेमवर्क देख सकते हैं एंड आप उसको कॉपी कर सकते हैं, बट यू नीड टू स्टडी टॉपर कॉपीज वेरी वेल फॉर दैट एंड ऑल्सो यू नीड टू नो द वेरियस थीम्स फॉर दैट। नाउ फॉर द फ्रेमवर्क, if I give you an example, for example, if you get a question on the location of industries, I would suggest you to use the life cycle approach। Now, एक इंडस्ट्री की लाइफ साइकिल में क्या क्या आएगा? नंबर 1, रॉ मटेरियल जो यूज हो रहा है। नंबर 2, द स्टेज ऑफ प्रोडक्शन, जब मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में या प्रोसेसिंग में है। नंबर 3, जो मैन्युफैक्चर्ड या प्रोसेस्ड प्रोडक्ट का ट्रांसपोर्टेशन। एंड नंबर 4, उसका मार्केट। सो let us look at the raw material one। सबसे पहले the source of raw material से the distance to the industry shall be less and availability should also be very easy। now during production उनको मिलना चाहिए cheap labor, उनके पास में होनी चाहिए amenities like electricity, water etc you need to have। now फॉर ट्रांसपोर्ट आपको लॉजिस्टिक सपोर्ट होना चाहिए एंड ऑल्सो यू नीड टू हैव सर्टेन रेमिटेंस स्कीम्स लाइक द RODTEP इन विच किसी भी इंडस्ट्री ने ट्रांसपोर्टेशन में जितना भी अमाउंट या टैक्स दिया है वो आपको रेमिट हो जाता है वापस। नेक्स्ट, उनको चाहिए इजी अवेलेबिलिटी ऑफ मार्केट एज वेल एज ह्यूज अमाउंट ऑफ कंज्यूमर्स। So, in just 1 minute, using a framework, we were able to generate around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 points regarding the location of industries. So, this is how frameworks help you in writing an answer. And this is what I want you to learn from topper copies so that आप भी इसी वे में सोचो, और जिस वे में आप सोचोगे उसी वे में आपके नोट्स बनेंगे, और जिस वे में आपके नोट्स बनेंगे उसी वे में आपकी आंसर राइटिंग होगी। Now, do comment about this video in the comment section and the link to my Telegram channel is in the description box। I hope you'll study well। Let's solve UPSC। Thank you।